Great morning, my students. Grade 8 students, Basic Technology. We are in week 4 and the class for today will be simple blueprint readings. And the objectives for this topic will be, at the end of the class, students should be able to explain what a blueprint is, details on a blueprint, plain readings and interpretations. That's plan readings and interpretations. When you say plan, how to read it and how to interpret it. Then picture examples of blueprints. So without further ado, what is blueprint? Blueprint is an original approved master plan of a building where all the details about the structures is properly laid out. Let me take it again. Blueprint is an original approved master plan of a building where all the details about the structure is properly laid out. Without a blueprint of a house, or without a building, without a blueprint of a building, or without a blueprint of any structure at all, the engineers, the builders won't understand what you mean. So blueprint is a very important master plan for a building or for a structure to be carried out. So the details on blueprint are site plan, floor plan, elevations, roof plans, windows, and etc. Plan reading and interpretation. Your ability to read and interpret the blueprint will help you in the setting up of a building. Like what I said earlier, without a blueprint, it will be very hard for the engineers and builders to understand what the owner have in mind on building. But when you have your blueprint already, it will be easy for the engineers and the builders to just look at it and build. But also, without your knowledge of reading the plan and interpreting what is actually on the plan, the builders and the engineers also will find it very hard in understanding what you have in the plan. Let's go to the examples of blueprint. If you look at the examples in white and black, you will see it's just labeled in a way that only the engineers and the builders will understand what you mean on the paper. And if you look at the blue side of the pictures, this is a well structured and finished house. So engineers will be able to know where the windows will be located, where the doors will be located, where the chimney will be located, and etc. So without proper way of interpreting and reading plans, the engineers and the builders won't understand what you have there. If you look at it now, a normal student like you who understand what it means, what the blueprint means. If you are just looking at it, you just find out it's just just lines and numbers and names. But don't worry, when we get to class physically, I will explain and I will teach you how to read a blueprint. So in order not to waste more of our time, there are keys to understand and interpret simple buildings of the language. So the keys are lines, codes, and symbols, which are universally understood by builders and engineers. So when we get to class, when we see physically, I will be able to explain and know how to and teach you how to read the blueprint. So with this, we've come to the end of the class. Thank you, my students.